If you sleep facing a mirror, there is something happening in your spirit you were never warned about. While your body is resting, something else is responding. This isn't superstition. It isn't culture. It's spiritual law. And once you hear this, you'll understand why certain nights feel different and why the mirror was never just decoration. And no, I'm not talking about vanity. I'm talking about why certain spiritual attacks only happen at night. Why they show up when the room is quiet, when your eyes are closed, when your guard is down, and why they stop abruptly when one object is removed. After listening to deliverance testimonies from people who were sincere, committed, and spiritually aware, after counseling believers who could not explain why the same night battles kept returning, even though their days looked normal, after sitting with people who fasted, prayed, anointed themselves, and still woke up feeling as if something had been taken from them while they slept, and after carefully observing patterns in Scripture and in real spiritual warfare encounters that followed the same sequence again and again, I realized something uncomfortable. It wasn't that they weren't praying enough. It wasn't that they were doing the wrong prayers. It wasn't even that something was attacking them randomly. It was that something had already been allowed, and the permission wasn't given with words. It was given with placement. It was given with orientation. It was given through an environment they entered every night without questioning it. And once I saw that pattern, I couldn't ignore it. The first story made me pause. It came from someone who thought their problem was stress until the nights began responding differently than the days. The second one involved sleep paralysis and a kind of fear that didn't feel imagined, fear that arrived with precision, timing, and repetition. They both had explanations, or at least excuses. But the third one didn't come with confusion, it came with clarity. It exposed a connection I had avoided naming for a long time. It forced me to look again at mirrors, not as objects, but as participants. And that story changed how I see sleeping spaces forever. I will tell you what happened in that third case. But not yet. The first story came from a believer who couldn't understand what was happening to them. During the day, everything felt normal. They worked, they laughed, they prayed, they functioned. But night after night, sleep refused to settle. Restless turning, heavy dreams, waking up more tired than before lying down. They assumed it was stress. So they prayed more, they fasted, they anointed their pillow, they quoted Scripture before sleeping, and still, the night kept responding the same way. One evening, they woke suddenly, no sound, no movement, just the clear sense of being watched. Not imagined, not emotional, present. They sat up. The feeling didn't leave. And that's when they noticed it. The mirror, directly facing the bed. Not angled, not to the side, facing them. They hadn't placed it there for any reason. It had always been there. So they did something simple. They covered it. No prayer added. No new ritual. No extra words. They went back to sleep. And that night, the heaviness lifted. The dreams stopped. The rest returned. The next morning, they woke up calm. And here's the part that matters most. Nothing else changed. Same prayers. Same room. Same bed. Only one thing was no longer facing them while they slept. If you're still watching, comment light below. This video is not for everyone. Only those meant to hear this will understand why it matters. Your comment shows you're paying attention and that your spirit is listening. The second story came from a believer in a completely different place, different house, different background, different spiritual history. But the night pattern was stronger. They began having repeated dreams, not random dreams, dreams where they kept seeing their own reflection, sometimes in a mirror, sometimes in glass, sometimes in surfaces that weren't supposed to reflect anything at all. In the dreams, they would look and feel unfamiliar with themselves. Not afraid at first, just unsure. Then the fear followed. Confusion, self-doubt, waking up questioning thoughts they never struggled with before. They prayed, they asked for clarity, and what came back wasn't an answer, it was a pattern. The dreams only came at night, they only happened in one room. And they always involved reflection. That's when a line of Scripture surfaced during prayer. For now we see through a glass darkly. It wasn't quoted for explanation. It was highlighted as a warning. They realized something important. At night, mirrors were amplifying identity confusion, not creating it, magnifying it. So they made one adjustment. The mirror was turned away from the bed, not removed from the house, not destroyed, just repositioned. That same night, the dreams stopped, the confusion lifted, and clarity returned without effort. But that raised a question that wouldn't go away. What exactly do mirrors do, spiritually? Here's what I need you to understand. Mirrors don't create power. They reflect it. They multiply it. During the day, the spirit can hold its ground. But at night, when the body sleeps, the spirit becomes more sensitive, more open. Some objects in a room aren't neutral. Some amplify what shouldn't be present. That's why the issue isn't mirrors everywhere. It's mirrors in resting places. When you lie down to sleep, you surrender your environment, and whatever is amplified in that space responds to your surrender. This is hidden knowledge, not superstition, not old wives' tales. This is what people overlook, and why some nights feel heavy, even when nothing seems wrong. Type "I cover my space" in the comments if this connects with you. Share this quietly with someone who's been struggling during the night. This isn't for everyone to see. It's for those who need to reclaim their resting place. Your comment is a signal that you are aware, that you are ready, and that you are watching closely. There is a right way to handle mirrors spiritually. And there is a wrong way, a way that keeps doors open, even when you think the problem is gone. Most people only remove them, cover them, or turn them around, but that's not always enough. The question is, what exactly is the correct way to reclaim your space? And that answer comes later. There is a specific prayer for reclaiming sleeping spaces. But that's for another teaching, like this video, so others don't stay unaware. Subscribe, because exposure brings freedom. Peace doesn't disappear. It waits for alignment.